We'll start with Ryan on your left, guys.
Andres, how did you feel going into the game last night? You'd thrown a lot already in the NLDS. How did you feel going into the game?
Felt good enough. Of course, we are a little bit tired, but we have to push a little bit more to do what the team needs to win. And this is what we do. We go through a lot of stuff, and we start to do our best over there.
One row ahead, Andres.
Hi, Mooney. What do you, when you know you don't have as much recovery time as you normally would want or get, what do you have to do in order to get yourself ready to go, day after day like you have?
I think the key for me has been the trainers. They've been helping me so much to get ready for the games, and I think they are the most important thing for us to be ready for the game. And obviously, a lot of times you have to do a lot more stuff, more soft tissue, more ¿cómo se dice? Lo de antes de para calentar.
Warm up?
Sí.
Prepare?
Prepare, like, I don't know how to say it. But yes, they have been a key for us to go out there and perform our best.
Rick in the left
Andres,
corner.
Bryce did a heck of a job last night, 6 innings. What did that mean for the guys down in the bullpen doing what he did?
It means a lot, especially we know that he have less days of rest than normal, and the way that he went up there and compete was really huge for us to see that, and it's like everybody here is pushing a little bit more every time to get that goal, and I feel we are going in the right direction, and it was good to see Bryce doing that.
Fifth row on your left, Andres.
Mooney right here. Kind of similar, but, your starting staff has gone through a lot this season with, guys going out, coming back, Bryce, Logan, George, all those guys, and now Brian Woob. But to see what your starters have done in this postseason, just game after game after game, what's it been like to see them get back to the point where they were, last season and at other times as well?
I feel like everybody here is really important. Everybody has making something to help the team be in this position, and everybody know that our pitching staff is really good, and they've been proving it, and I'm really happy for them, and hopefully they're going to continue doing that, and that's it.
David, the third row on your left.
Hey, Andres, I'll do this in English and in Spanish. 2022 was one thing, but for a lot of the guys, this is the first deep run into the playoffs, or deepish run into the playoffs. How exciting has it been for you guys? And obviously you see the fan base being excited as well. So what's that been like for you guys? So, obviamente el 2022 fue algo, pero esta es la primera vez para muchos de ustedes que hayan llegado así de lejos en la postemporada. ¿Cuál es la emoción entre ustedes haciendo esto? Y también compartir eso con la fanaticada en Seattle.
I feel like everybody is really motivated at this point. We've been dreaming about this during the whole season and during a lot of years, and being here is an awesome opportunity for us, and we don't want to lose the opportunity to do our best every time that we get on the field. And I know everybody is doing the things that they have to do for be 100% on the field, and it's just like it's a dream, and hopefully we're going to get to that goal, and we're going to do our best. Pues la verdad que muy motivados, todos están muy motivados, esperemos que podamos seguir así. Todo el mundo, yo entiendo que todo el mundo está cansado y todo eso, pero la verdad que para eso es para lo que jugamos, para llegar a este punto, y la verdad que no vamos a desaprovechar la oportunidad, vamos a darlo todo, independientemente de lo que salga en En los resultados tienen que estar seguros que dimos el 100%.
Fifth row on your left, Andres. Tyler.
Andres, what's the biggest way you've changed as a pitcher in the 5 years since San Diego traded you to Seattle?
Probably know a little bit more about my body. That has been the big change for me. Before it's not like I didn't worry about it. It was more like I didn't really put attention to what my body was feeling or listen. I didn't listen to my body, and now after the Tommy John surgery, I was able to learn a little bit more how to manage knows the difference about sore, pain, and all those things. And just as soon as I start to feel something, I work on it, and I go with the trainers right away without being scared of, oh, maybe they're going to think that I am hurt or something like that. I think attacking the soreness or the pain as soon as possible, that has been the only change that I did. Just put more attention in my body, eat healthier, and that's it. That has been the only change.
How do you keep your body in control when you're pitching? Just because it seems like you have a lot more moving parts and deception than most pitchers. So is that hard to repeat consistently?
Not really, because that is the way that I always been throwing, and I just try to repeat the same all the time. Obviously, you can see like sometimes I fall off, but that is normal for me. Sometimes I do that, and that is how my body moves, and obviously with the reps, you get more used to it, and you start to feel more in control.
One last one for Andres. We'll finish up with David.
Same drill. A lighter question. Do you think there are more Seattle Mariners fans now en Los Mochis or Sinaloa? ¿Crees que hay más fanáticos de los Marineros en Los Mochis o Sinaloa ahora mismo?
No, sí, la verdad que sí. Yo creo que me siento muy contento por ser parte de los mexicanos que están aquí. Y la verdad que me enorgullece mucho poder estar aquí representando a mi país y que cada vez vean más el béisbol. Los mexicanos, la verdad que me pone muy contento. Y vamos a seguir haciendo lo mismo, tratar de poner el nombre de México en alto. ¿Lo puedes decir en español? ¿O lo puedes decir en inglés tú?
Yeah, he wants me to do this. Yeah, you know, it's very special. You know, I feel very proud of being one of the few Mexicans being able to, you know, be representing here in this league. But, you know, you see more and more fans being into it, especially back home. So, you know, I definitely do feel proud that, you know, more and more are starting to kind of get into the game and rooting for us.
All right, Andres, Freddie, thank you guys so much. Great to see you both. All right, we'll get started with Dan. If you have a question, just raise your hand. Who's got the first question for Dan? Who's up first? Go to David on your left.
Dan, Randy Arozarena has obviously forged a pretty good reputation in postseason from, you know, things he's done from a few years ago. The 2 stolen bases last night. He said last night that he really raises his energy level for the playoffs. Have you seen any of that in these, I guess, 6 games?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, a lot of guys raise their energy level in the postseason, and Randy's certainly one of them. You know, and he's had a tremendous season for us, and you know, just the things he does, you know, whether it's offensively or defensively, you know, obviously the home runs at another 2020 season for him, but you know, what he does on the bases often is a big part of our offense, and especially in that leadoff spot, getting a chance to get on base and advance 90 feet via the stolen base. And he does bring a lot of energy to our offense, and those 2 stolen bases last night were big.
Go to Tyler on your left, Dan.
Dan, just to jump off that, the stolen bases were big, and Naylor's stolen base the other night was big. You guys stole a lot of bases. How much of that was by design or philosophy in terms of just something that you want to get into your run scoring?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Methods.
these guys, I think are very smart base runners and have a lot of freedom when they get on base, and they read it very well. And we've talked about especially Josh Naylor and his just the way he sees the game and the headiness that he plays the game with. But all our base stealers do a really good job. Eric Young Jr. over at first base really helps those guys tremendously. He's been such a great addition to the staff. And just in some of the things that they try to cue on and work with when they're trying to steal a base. So these guys do such a great job preparing our guys, and then our guys run with it. And pardon the metaphor, but they run with it, and they do a really really good job. And it's again a big part of putting pressure on the defense and trying to get that extra 90 feet.
Other questions for Dan? Rick?
Danny, what could you say about Jorge Polanco coming up with so many big hits and crucial clutch situations like he has, the 15th inning and the home runs off of Skubal last night, 2 RBI singles?
Yeah.
How does he slow the game down?
Polo's just, he's just a professional hitter. I don't know how else to describe it, and the way he's been able to do that all season long. He got off to a torrid start for us, and put up some huge numbers, especially home runs early in the season, and then his at bats continued to be so solid throughout the year, and then lately here has just come up in key situations and really delivered for us, and being able to slow the game down, as you mentioned, both sides of the plate. I think there's a lot of confidence in the left side and the right side at this point, and he's just found a way to deliver in those situations, and it's been huge. And it's he's come up, those 2 runs last night to put us ahead, number 1, and then to give us an insurance run, number 2. You can't emphasize how important that was, and he just seems to be in the right place at the right time, and he's really doing a great job delivering in those situations.
1 row ahead, Ryan.
Dan, you watched Brian's live BP. What did you see from him, and do you think we'll see him pitch when you guys return to Seattle at some point?
Yeah, I thought it went really well today. Again, looking at different things in terms of his velo, and in terms of how he was throwing his secondary stuff. It looked all really pretty solid today. And then, again, the next sort of check mark is how he responds to that tomorrow and how he comes back. I think, again, as we've seen, his progression's been pretty steady, pretty on the mark. And I think if he comes back tomorrow and feeling better, then I think we're on a good path to seeing him later in the series.
We'll stay right there.
Dan, on that note, obviously your starting staff, people have thought for a while is the best in baseball, and then this year there's kind of an avalanche of injuries and one thing happens after another. But to reach this point and to have them be what they've been in the playoffs, which I think is what you probably always envisioned, how important has that been and how important is it going to continue to be?
Yeah, I mean, your starters are so important, and I think what we saw from Bryce last night was just phenomenal, and that's a huge outing. And each of our guys have done that at some point in the season, and have really stepped up. But when you start putting those back to back together, and each outing is each guy's trying to kind of outdo the other guy, that's when you've got something really special. And this is that kind of a group. And we've seen some really big outings here in the postseason. We've seen these guys even come out of the bullpen and give us a big outing. So these this starting staff, you can't say enough about them. The uniqueness that they have in terms of how they push each other, how they encourage each other, all the things that go into the bonding of that group together. It's a special group of starters, and you really are excited to hand the ball to each and every one of them, and in a postseason, that's a really good feeling.
Ryan?
Dan, you mentioned how important the mound visit was from Cal last night in the first inning. Bryce doesn't even remember what Cal said to him. Logan said that Cal will often come out there and just stare at him and not say anything. I'm just curious, when you were catching, like, what was it like going to visit Randy on the mound or Jamie on the mound, or like those kinds of mound visits?
Yeah, I remember having to look up to Randy, so that's an oddity. But I think oftentimes pitchers sometimes just need a beat. They just need to kind of slow the game down for just a minute and get out of whatever rhythm they were in. And I think whatever Cal said to Bryce last night, maybe that was what it was. It's just kind of a beat, a chance to kind of disrupt the momentum that was going the other way. Whatever the case may be, I think Cal has a really good intuition in terms of when to go out there. And clearly that was a great situation to go out and kind of change the momentum, and it seemed to really change the momentum, permanently for Bryce, and coming out from that point on, it was pretty special.
You didn't say anything bad about Randy or Jamie though in those mound visits?
No, of course not. No.
Yeah, one row ahead.
Dan, with going with Logan today, who do you expect to have start for Game 3?
Yeah, right now Game 3 will be George Kirby. Game 4 will be Luis Castillo.
And what went into the decision on slotting those guys in that spot?
I think, a lot of it, again, just kind of where we stacked up rest-wise, how everybody's feeling, and kind of made the most sense, in terms of the matchups and whatever with Toronto here. So I think we're in a really good spot with our starters, and, be interesting to see today with Logan. Again, we'll kind of monitor the same way we did with Bryce, coming off of a bullpen, kind of a different routine than he's normally had, the bullpen that was in the game. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Do a couple last ones for Dan. Annie on your left.
Dan, I was going to ask if you feel like your pitching staff's in a better spot today, given what you got from Bryce and the efficiency from the bullpen yesterday too.
Yeah, I think that's kind of maybe the underrated part of what Bryce did last night. Was number one, it set up our bullpen for the game last night. It was giving us those 6 innings was tremendous. But it did kind of give us a little bit of rest too. Bizzardo didn't have to throw last night. Other guys didn't have to throw last night. So it sets us up, kind of going forward here too. As it turned out, so on so many levels, that was a big outing from Bryce, and certainly with our bullpen and with our other starters, it came up huge.
One last one for Dan, if there is one. We'll finish with Hazel.
Hi, Dan. You obviously have a lot of information in advanced scouting on Trey Savage, but what are the challenges of never having faced this young man until Game 2 of an LCS?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's, I think one of the things about baseball is guys catalog when they see pitches and pitchers, and that information gets, sort of recalled when they get to they see him the next time. We don't have that with Savage. This is going to be a first time for all of us. It's a unique delivery. It's a unique release. It's another split finger. All those things I think will be very, key for our guys in their first at bat or two to kind of, be logging that information. And that's the great thing about baseball. It's a game of adjustments. You have to make your adjustments, and you have to make them quickly. And offensively, that's what we're going to have to do with Savage today.
All right, Dan, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
We'll see you later. We're expecting George Kirby. The timing is TBD, and we'll have Shane Bieber next in 20 minutes, and then George will follow Shane at some point. We'll let you know as soon as we know.